Another day in the life. I remembered my coffee this morning. Time to hit the road. Fire up old Vicky the van here and head to the central south end of Seattle. The sun is out now, but that could change around here, especially in the springtime. 15 minutes, it could be dumping rain. Yep, probably gonna need this puppy today. Easy up. Pulling out of my backyard alley parking spot here. And I'm excited. So today on the agenda, I have 2 tasks booked. The first one is interesting. I'm going to be mounting maps. It's like an art project kind of a thing where this guy's got like a nautical maps, it sounds like, that he's putting up in his home, and they're pretty heavy. And so he called a professional to have this stuff mounted. And I'll be doing that today. But what I'm really excited about is this has kind of been an ongoing thing with another client who has a 2018 Camaro, broke his mirror off. So the driver's side mirror completely broken. Not completely broken, the glass is still intact. And he went to the dealership and they wanted some outrageous amount of money, you know, like $600 for the mirror, another $500 something to install the mirror. So, you know, he was looking at like $1,100, $1,200 to replace a freaking driver's side mirror. And he was asking me, he's like, hey, you know, could you do this? And I said, well, it's hard to find, you know, parts for a vehicle that new, you know. What he found though was General Motors extra parts. And I'll put a link in the description to where he found this, because it may be helpful to some of you out there. How do you get one of these mirrors? Because it's like a dealer-only product. I've called a bunch of aftermarket companies who do aftermarket products, and they don't sell them, at least not yet. So he found this one, but the only catch was is it didn't include the glass. So the glass is not included in it, but because he didn't break the glass in his old mirror, I can remove that glass and put it in his new one, which I'll be doing that as well today. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited to get out there and work on a car today for a change. I'm an old mechanic type, and I like Camaros, so this will be fun. White. It's not going to match, so the mirrors are also painted the same color as the car, but he has a workaround for that as well, and I'll include that in the video here and a link in the description as well. It's a pretty cool way of getting around having to go to a body shop or, you know, pay a guy to wrap it. Wrapping wouldn't be a bad way to handle that situation either. Probably be cheaper than paint, but I have arrived. This fancy condo-like place. And here's where the shelves are going. I like that she left detailed instructions, putting 2 shelves right there. Here's my work area, right there in the bathroom. I had to film this because, you know, I'm used to working in a shop where my tools are always there. I put a bag underneath the holes. I drill holes in the drywall. This is the maps I put up, that one and that one, mounted and lined up perfectly. They had an Italian Greyhound. We used to have an Italian Greyhound. We miss our Bella Greyhound. So that went well. When my mounting was lower, they booked this a long time ago. So this is like 90 bucks. I got paid for that. Not too bad. Yeah! Now I'm on my way to Harbor Freight and then to see the Camaro. There it is, the big Harbor Freight in the city. Yes. Was missing some of my 1/4-inch sockets, and I was looking for some wobbly sockets, and all I could find was these, you know, extension wobbly kind of things, which is really what I was looking for. Lots of extensions, extra extensions. Might need some of those. All right, 30% off with my Inside Track membership, which I don't actually have. I have I have somebody with my same name that lives in the area has an Inside Track membership, so, which is interesting. And so they're like, oh, looks like you have an Inside Track membership. I'm like, I do? Sweet. So they just keep adding the discount when I give them my phone number. I don't know. All right. Not gonna argue with you about that. Headed to West Seattle thanks to the bridge closure, taking the back roads here to the Camaro. All right, and here's the car. Pretty sweet, a little dirty. But it has this issue. And putting a new mirror on here. I'm going to pull this glass first. Here's the replacement. And it just pops in. I'm not gonna lie, this was a job. Had to take everything out, the speaker, the door panel off, just to get the pigtail out for that mirror. And everything's lining up much better now. Look at that. Let's have the 54,000 miles is all. Yeah. It works. Blinker on. What's up with that? Uh-oh. Low fluid fuel. That's not good. But yes, the mirror works. That one works. Cool. There's another product you can get to match on that side, this side. It's got a nice sound too. I like working on the Camaro. And what else is here in West Seattle? Just down the street. Easy Street Records. Was actually surprised I made it up there without spending any money. But actually I stopped by to see if Matt Vaughn was around to maybe schedule that interview these days with the Seattle music legend. Put that mirror in, which took a little longer than I had anticipated, but it was fine. I just had a flat rate that I charged the customer, so it's $200 to put that mirror on. And now I'm in the city having tacos at my favorite taco place here in Seattle. There's a couple of locations. Ranchero Bravos Tacos. And they're cheap too. Like they raised their prices like 30 cents. So they're $3.30 a taco. They come in this. This used to be a Winchell's, by the way. Yep, there it is. Winchell's sign. Right underneath it. I mean, look at that. $3 something a taco. I'm gonna have to get a fork. Delicious. Great taco place. But I also usually only pay cash here because they're like adding fees and stuff if you use your debit card. Like, what is that? $12? Wait, what? So, yeah, I just always pay cash and I don't have a problem. So, oh yeah, look at that. Cilantro, big piece of steak right there. Fun fact, cilantro, the flavor you get from cilantro is in the stems, not necessarily the leaves. So you see a lot of cilantro stems, because that's how they do it. That's how the real Mexican connoisseurs do cilantro stems. We also got these killer little cups of homemade salsa, hot sauce. Sun is out in Seattle. So yeah, I finished that job. Stopped by Easy Street Records. I didn't buy anything, so I exercised some self-control. They had this cool Mudhoney record that I really wanted, but it was like $42. It was on like green splatter vinyl, 1500, you know, limited release. Today, it's a different day. Today, I just put shelves up and I put a TV up at the same house and a curtain rod. That was about 3 hours at $52 an hour now for mounting. So yeah, the floating shelves they were pretty cool. Fairly easy. It's just getting things centered and anchored in the wall properly. That's the hardest part of putting up floating shelves like that. I had put in some smart switches, light fixtures, light switches. Now, after I've finished completing that task, I am bringing food to a wedding. That's right. They picked a good day for it, looks like. Downtown Kirkland, kind of. That's the place. Got about an hour before the task, so I figured I'd go for a little walk around Kirkland on the lake. Oh no, my favorite Irish pub, one of my favorite Irish pubs in the Seattle area went out of business. Pandemic claimed a lot of restaurants and bars all over. Had a lot of live music here and stuff. It's sad. Have a deck outside. Keeping it warm. Bread. So they didn't have the right name. I guess she has a, like they wrote down Mita, and her name is Wina. So yeah, we got the Italian people taking the order and an Asian woman making the order, and they had the wrong name. So I'm sitting there, I don't have her phone number. All I have is Taskrabbit, right, chat, and there's a phone call. So I tried to call and no one answered. So I'm like, oh no. So then they had her number. They had two sizable orders and both of them were paid for. Both of them to be picked up at the same time. So, you know, they're trying to figure out which one's which, right? And then I said, well, can you give me one of the phone numbers? I'll call these people. And they were sort of like, they didn't want to at first. And then I just started just being annoying, right? You want to get out of a place fast, start being annoying, especially a busy Saturday night at the hot Italian restaurant in posh, becoming more posh Kirkland, right? So I'm just kind of following people around going, hey, what's that? Is that ready? Is the food ready? And just kind of annoying the heck out of people until they want me to have, right? We want this guy to leave. So that was my strategy and it worked. So they finally gave me the phone number and I called her and I said, I'm picking up the food. I'm running late, but I'll be there at like 5:30, I think it was. So it's not gonna be too bad. It should be fine. It'll be fine. Yes, made it to the church on time. As David Bowie once said. All the food delivered, and happy bride and groom, 5-star happy. So that's good. They were I kept everything warm. They were really happy that everything was hot when I arrived. So yeah, sweet. Taskrabbit, another task en route. So she was really nice in the chat, and I told her, you know, I was honored to be a part of their special day. I also said, hey, by the way, if you, in case your pastor or justice of the peace or whoever isn't available, I'm actually an ordained minister, you know, and I shared my credentials just in case, you know. Odds are it's going to be fine. But if you need somebody last minute, I could facilitate the nuptials. I have the power in the state of Washington to do such things. Get it back home in one piece again, and it was a good couple of days. Now I have a day off tomorrow, and that'll be good. Thanks for watching.
There's also a record store, which I don't usually, they're just kind of expensive, and they don't rotate their content very well, but yeah. $6 for a gallon of gas. Is that what it is?